Hello everyone and welcome back to SAFC Fan TV. Sunderland have just drawn 2-2 away at Hull City. Dino, excluding the context of the result in terms of the league, on the whole, a decent performance really, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good performance. It's just a pity we didn't get the result. I mean, it's one of them games where actually the performance was good, but we didn't get the result because mainly this season it's been getting the results, not performing. I thought the change in formation helped with. I think that is our strongest formation, a 4-3-3. I really do. Given with that extra man in midfield helped. I mean, Winchester looked good, Granlebatter was good, Scowen was good in patches. It's just a shame we couldn't keep a clean sheet. I mean, I think one of the goals came down McFadze's inside where Wilkes just took him on, floated the ball in for McGuinness. I'm trying to remember their first goal, but it's not actually. It came from the left side. Actually, Wilkes cut in again from the left side. He came in too easy with the ball to McGuinness or how you want to pronounce it, and he headed the ball in. I mean, both goals came from the left side, and that's just been a problem of ours. The left side's so weak, and Wilkes had the freedom of the pitch just to run at McFadze's every single time he could. But overall, I mean, it was actually a nice game. It was a good game to watch, I thought. We were good keeping the ball. We hit the bar twice, I think. Jordan Jones hit the bar. We hit the bar at the end. We created the odd good chance. But overall, a draw, probably a fair result.
Just on the formation, I definitely think it did help us. I think having the extra man in the midfield, we just had a bit more control in the game, especially in the first half, on their goals as well. I mean, Wilkes was a good outlet for them, very athletic, a lot of pace. He just did McFadze's for both of them. The first one, he came on the inside. The second, he went on the outside. And I think McFadze's may as well have not been there for either of them, really. Didn't really pose any threats to him. Philly, on the whole, that was a pretty decent performance, really, especially considering how we've played as of late.
Yeah, definitely. A lot more, like you say, the performances recently have just been poor. Whereas now, and I agree, changing the formation has definitely done it for us. I think Wilkes, again, like I said, was a danger man. I think he did the same when we played them at home. He was, he tore us apart and that. But first half, I thought we did really well. They got back into it, the second half. But I think we could have nicked it towards the end. I mean, there was a couple of brilliant chances there, and it was just unlucky that we didn't quite get them. I just think, I think when Maguire came on, I mean, I don't know what the problem is with Lee Johnson and Maguire, but it just shows. If he's needed, I think Sunderland do lack that creative midfielder is what we want. Somebody who'll, who'll have a goal, attack people, take people on. And I think if we had somebody like that, I think we'd just be a totally different team. But yeah, I thought we looked comfortable. I think you're right. I think probably a draw probably is a fair result, but I think we probably edged it and was unlucky not to nick it at the end. And like I said, great results in Peterborough getting beat. I've got to agree with you. Top two's not there, but at least this performance, this result, is going to more or less cement, a playoff place for us. Jack.
Yeah, just on you saying that about an attack midfield. He might not be an attack midfield, but I thought Greg Doherty had a great game, and especially towards the end, there was 2 or 3 times when he just completely ripped through us, particularly on the counter attack. Like, our midfielders looked non-existent. He was a player who we were linked with, and I think we could really deal with someone like that who can actually drive the ball forward and get attacks moving as opposed to just play these sideways and backwards passes.
Yeah, I mean, that's the difference between us and Hull. They've got someone else who can actually do something, where, like you said in the stream, we can only really go down the wings. Everything comes down the wings. It's actually not hard to figure us out. I mean, can you remember anyone who came down the middle, had a shot, brought it through the middle of the midfield and then had a shot? No. I remember a couple of times where Greg Doherty ran through the middle, and then you've got the outlet to go either left or right. When you go down the wing, you only can really go down the wing and cross it in, or cut in and maybe have a shot. Just having that centre midfielder opens up options to create, and we just don't have that. And Chris, as much as everyone loves Chris Maguire, he's not a centre midfielder. I mean, what is his position? Most of the time he's out on the wing. He has been played as a number 10, but in centre mid, I mean, could he even do a job there? I don't know, but it's quite frustrating to see Hull City have got a player like that, and we have every single one of our midfielders is basically a defensive midfielder, and that's the difference why Hull are where they are and we are where we are.
I think another difference between the two sides, and I know we're talking about Hull quite a lot here, but they have a lot of players who've got a lot of goals. I was going through it beforehand on the pre-match bit of the stream when we were previewing the game a little bit, and they've got quite a few players who've got double figures of goals. I think Potter on the left, Wilkes on the right, Magenan's up front. And then, of course, you've got the likes of Greg Doherty and George Honeyman who can create and get forward and do things themselves as well. We've only really got Charlie Wyke, who tends to score a lot of goals. So I think that can make quite a big difference. Lads, we're going to get on to the man of the match. Dino, I'll go to you first. Have you got anyone in mind?
For us, again, there wasn't really a standout performer. I mean, if I was going to give it to anyone, I would probably give it to Wilkes or even Doherty. I mean, Wilkes was really good. He was causing problems all day. I mean, if you were talking about giving one of our players man of the match, I mean, no one really stands out. Everyone played an average game. It was a good team performance, but there wasn't an individual what stood out where, like, it wasn't like one of them ones where McGeady was like skinning players and creating chances. There was none of that. It was just everyone was probably an average 6 out of 10. No one really stood out. But if I was going to give man of the match to anyone, it would probably be either Wilkes. I'll give it to Wilkes. Yeah, Wilkes will get it for me.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough. In all honesty, from looking at from a neutral perspective, I think you'd probably have to look to give it to him. Really, Phil, have you got one yourself?
Well, I mean, I thought we was going to take a man of the match for us. I thought, I mean, Wilkes by a mile, without a doubt. But if you're picking one for us, I think you're right, Dino. I think nobody sort of had a standout performance, but you know, I thought Jones was all right. I mean, Gooch got down and got some crosses in. You know, it's you know, it's difficult. If you give it a man of the match, then Wilkes by a mile. But for us, you know, yeah, I'd pick between Jones and Gooch, probably myself. Yeah, maybe give it a Gooch if I had to give one of our players it. You, Jack?
Yeah, well, I mean, looking overall, I think I'll probably give it to Wilkes. But from a Sunderland perspective, I think Gooch was probably our best player tonight. I think Levitt did well as well. But yeah, Gooch to me, I think he did. I mean, I missed the lead with the penalty, but I think he did win the penalty, didn't he, Dino? And then as well, he won the ball and put a great cross in for Jordan Jones coming in for our first goal. Gooch tonight, he's a frustrating player. He does, you know, he has a lot of games where he gives the ball away cheaply. He's not great in possession. His decision making is great, but tonight, a great performance from him. So he gets my man of the match for Sunderland, but I think overall, I'll probably give it to Wilkes. Dino, so you want him?
Yeah, I didn't even touch on the penalty we got. I mean, I thought that was harsh. I did. I really thought that was harsh. I think Philly agrees as well.
No, Dino, I don't, because to be honest, when you've seen it back, right? Yes, his hand is by his side, but he stopped the ball going through, you know, and because Gooch would have been onto it. He stopped the ball going through. So for me, it was a penalty.
Gooch kicked it towards his hand. Like, if your hand's there and sort of player kicks it towards your hand and you're not even a yard apart, I mean, what can you do? You literally can't do anything. If you put your hands up in the air, you're doomed. If they're down by your side, you're doomed. I mean, you kind of put your hands anyway. Right, I just think it was. I thought it was a little bit harsh. I mean, if that was given against us, I'd be ranting and raving how it wasn't the penalty, and News would too. Let's be fair. It wasn't blatant. Gooch basically kicked the ball up in the air towards. I think it was Elder, and Elder's got his hands there.
Elder.
Just I thought it was a bit harsh, but I will take them every day. But I thought it was harsh, to be fair.
I think he stopped the ball going through. I think had he not handballed it, Gooch would have been past him. So that's how I saw it. It was penalty for me, like. But you know, I mean, Jack's a referee, and Jack gave it.
Well, actually, Dean, Freddie, if you listened to what I was saying, you would have said that I saw the lead up the penalty anyway, so I couldn't even comment if I wanted to. But lads, I think we'll leave it there. On the whole, I mean, we took the lead twice. and gave it away twice. That is quite disappointing. But going into the game, I mean, I predicted us to get paid 2-0 tonight. So a surprising, decent performance. I think the most important thing now is that we look to have a few more of these, hopefully a few decent results, build a bit of confidence, a bit of momentum back, hopefully get a decent rhythm going into the playoffs, because that's when it could matter. Yes, Phil?
Just very quickly before we do go, I've just got the table up now. Hull City are on. We've got a game in hand over them. They've got 83 points. Peterborough played the same amount of games as us. They're on 79. We're on 72. And Lincoln below us have got a game in hand over us, and they're on 72 as well. But there is a bit of a gap opening up now between Charlton and Oxford in 6th and 7th. Oh well, no, there's not. It's only apparent. Forget what I'm saying there. So that's how we stand in the league. So, and those.
Phil's cut out there. Anyway, yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I think I'm still fairly confident we'll make the playoffs. The most important thing now is to have a few more performances like we had tonight. Hopefully a few more results. Well, I mean, don't get us wrong, at a point away to Hull, if you exclude the context of what we're in right now, is probably still a decent result. You know, it was always going to be a challenging game, really, and I think we took the game to them quite well. So hopefully a few more of these performances and a few more of these results, we can go into the playoffs, kick on, build a bit of momentum, get a bit of confidence, get a bit of rhythm going, and that hopefully in those playoff semi-finals and hopefully the final, we're going to make it count, really, as Charlton did when they got into form late on the season in our first campaign in League One. But we're going to leave it there. From myself, Jack Dodds, from Wee Philly, and from Dino Walgar, thank you for watching the review. We hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. It's free to do both of those. And stay safe. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.